Evening, everyone. You're all welcome to today's session.
Good evening.
Good evening. It's going to start getting even more exciting. We've had a lot of, shall I say, theory, even though we've been as practical as possible about the theory, the masterclass. It's been directly about practice and getting things right. However, we are about to move into the second part, which is the most interesting part, actually doing and getting results. From Monday, we will start distributing the starter packs, and so that by Thursday, everyone should have it by God's grace, and by the weekend, we will start seed sowing. So, Mr. Olomide is going to join us. I spoke to him about 30 minutes ago. He was still in transit. So, as we go on, once he joins us, he will continue with the tomato masterclass when he joins us. But before he joins us, I have some interesting things to say about the next stage we are going into. Now we are starting seed sowing next week. I would like to say a few things about the seeds and why we are using the seeds that we are using. Most people that are into commercial farming of tomatoes, they prefer to use hybrid seeds for obvious reasons, which is that the seeds have been specially improved to give higher yield. And many of them too, they have been improved for some special situations like to weather droughts and diseases as well and all of that. However, our own natural varieties, or shall I say our own indigenous varieties, have been largely neglected. And the whole essence of organic or diving into organic is so that we can walk the sustainability talk. Now, what do I mean? For the hybrid seeds, we call them F1. You can't replant it. And if you replant it, you are not likely to get the same results. So some people plant F2, some F3. But I can assure you that by the time you get to F9, there will be nothing there. It will just not be worth the while. That is not sustainability. Because that means that we are dashing away our sovereignty. And of course there's a lot of talk about GMO. We are resisting GMO in Nigeria and all of that. So resisting anything that does not mean sustainability for us, because to an extent, even though hybrid is acceptable, it's not sustainable either. And then GMO is just deadly for so many reasons, even apart from the sustainability part of it. So GMO is worse. I mean, you can't even replant at all. Legally, you're not allowed to replant. And also, I don't think that even with hybrid, you still get something at F2 or F3 and so on. But with GMO, I don't, like someone described it, they are gay seeds, they don't even reproduce. And the worst thing about them is that when they are planted in a field, any indigenous seeds or seeds that are not GMO that are planted nearby, the wind blows to the other field, and then they dominate characteristics in the plants in other fields, and they also make them barren as well. So that's a great danger to us. So not only should we resist GMO, we must have a strategy or a plan to replace it, or to make sure that we don't even have reason to yield to the to all the talk about GMO. Because if you have something in your hand that is sufficient for you, and somebody is bringing you something, it's even without you talking much. I mean, it's obvious that there's even no room for what they are bringing. So some people, maybe a few people that are, used to this terrain, and the kind of yield that high yield hybrid seeds bring, may be wondering why we are using we want to plant this otitum that has been improved by still they'll just say, oh, they're made in Nigeria. Like, we have that mentality about made in Nigeria. They'll be wondering why. But I'm trying to make it clear to us why we are doing that. We want to improve our own. We want to take up our indigenous seeds and improve it. Not that we are just starting. Diet has done a lot, and that's one of the things I'm going to ask Mr. Lomede. because it's the head of that seed unit. Is a veteran plant builder, breeder, and he's been working on that. I want us to let us understand all what they have been doing, how much they have been doing, the journey to where to the point that they now have this autumn 1 to 4, of which we are seeing, I believe autumn 1, so that we have a clear understanding or better understanding of what we are planting and why we are planting it and the kind of yield that we can expect. So that's as far as the seeds are concerned. And then I would also want to give an overview of why we are doing what we are doing as a whole in terms of organic farming. A lot of people talk about advantages of organic farming. Some people just see the advantages, especially if they have not done any bit of research about it. But I will dare say that it's something that really do not have a choice about. Our future is at stake. Because when we say sustainability, we are talking continuity. Can we continue the way we are doing? And what are those the aspects that I will touch on in terms of the way we are doing things? Number one has to do with cost of production of food. With inorganic, or should I say conventional farming is starting to become unaffordable for farmers. What that means is that the food prices will keep driving up, and there's really nothing that anybody can do about it. A very simple example of a pointer to the higher cost of production, or should I say the inflationary cost of production that nobody can stop, is the fact that most of the fertilizers that are being used in inorganic are imported. And that's why it's like we are using dollars to buy our fertilizer. Honestly, it just seems so ridiculous. It's like, what are we doing? Just a simple example of that. Just a few years ago, MPK was selling, I'm talking less than, should I say maybe 4 years ago or so. MPK was still selling for like 7,000, 8,000. If there's anybody here that would, that remembers exactly how many years ago, not too far, not too long ago. And now it's over 50,000 naira. Is there somebody that remembers when MPK actually was still selling for like 7,000, 8,000 naira? How many years ago? Just how many years ago was that?
2019, 220. MPK was 7,000, 8,000 naira.
That is totally unsustainable. And even talking about seeds, the hybrid seeds, one hybrid tomato seed that a lot of farmers like to use is copra. Copra now, Mr. Dita, how many seeds in the copra? That copra thing that now sells for over 100,000 naira.
12,000. It's like 12,500.
Yeah, and yes, and that would farm just anything between an acre and an hectare, depending on your spacing. And we're talking sustainability. That is not sustainable. So we really have to improve our own. So I still have some more things about sustainability, soil health, and all of that. But now that Mr. Olomide is here, Mr. Olomide, we're talking sustainability, especially regarding the seeds. And I would like you to, start off before you go on to the session of the day, to start off by telling us about the seeds we want to plant and why we are planting the seeds and why it is important for the sake of our own sustainability as a people, as a nation, why we need to take up our own indigenous seeds, and improve them and establish them, even establish our own seed banks as well. Remember you were telling me about how you moved, you had to go around the country, talk to the farmers and all of that. Just let us know about the journey that brought autumn 1 to 4 to light. Yeah. Thank you. You're welcome, Mr. Olomide.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. It's great to be here again. Thank you for your consistency, everybody.
Good evening, sir.
It's interesting coming in at this point because it shows one mind, and it's always good to have people that you have like minds together, and it's always a great thing to work together. I put in mind to start with this, but first I'd like to say this to everybody. Please note there is no question that will be dodged as far as this masterclass concerned, as far as this community is concerned. If at any point in time any question is asked and the answer is not known at the moment, I think we've had episodes of that where it will just be, oh, right now I can't give an answer, I'll get back to you. I'm saying this because of the, the the engagement that occurred during the chat. Another thing I'd like to say, especially for those who are just joining, if you look at the timing those questions came, they would come during the class and the answers were given during the class. So I want to appeal to everyone, please listen to the recording of the classes. Please listen to the modules. Please, if you then have any question, state it that you have listened to this class and then you need some clarification on this. But we all need to go through. Also, for those who have just joined also, I was it here or I think it's on the WhatsApp platform that someone is asking, I'm just joining, how do I get around to participate? Please, let's ensure for WhatsApp, I mean, if you have just joined, you'll be able to go through. And that's the advantage Telegram has over WhatsApp. If you have just joined, kindly go through from the top, the discussions, so that you can be brought up to speed on all we're doing. Now, the seed, the tomato variety we will be planting is Otitom 1 tomato variety. Otitom 1 tomato variety was developed by us at the National Horticultural Research Institute in NIOT. It was registered along with 3 others, Otitom 1, 2, 3. And it took us, we believe, registered it in 2023, if I remember. And it took us about, we started working on it 2017, 18, 19, 20. It took us some years. And how did we do? We discovered while going around, farmers will tell us, Ibile Langbin, and that's this cherry tomato, and the one popularly referred to as IB local, which is round, and it looks like there are several lobes on it. Some call it onitaya. Some will even refer to it as beef steak because there is one that looks like that onitaya, but that is very fleshy. Unlike the local one we have in our environment, which is very watery. Among the other things was when they cook it in soups, it sort of gives a sour taste. So what we did was to take this variety and improve on it using conventional breeding methods. What are conventional breeding methods? A has a good trait that we like, which is firm fruit. B yields very high, but is very watery. So what do we do? Instead of subjecting it to natural crossing, we now take up that responsibility, which is crop improvement, which is what has been done down through the ages. But now it is controlled. And so by crossing it, we're able to develop these varieties. And after years of planting it over and over, we arrived at what we call a fixation of traits, such that we now have the traits that we want. Another thing was some of the diseases that were affecting tomato, fusarium wilt, nematodes such as Monotogyne incognita. After subsequent plantings, and we planted in locations, 9 locations across the agroecological zones of this country, around the southwest, around the northwest, to ensure we have a, 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 a complete representative sample of Nigeria agroecological zones. And without doing this, the National Variety Release Committee won't even approve of it. So that's how we came to develop Otitom 1. Now, not only did we do that, in the process of developing it, in days before, it was top-down approach that was used. An institute will just come and tell you this is a new variety. But if you recall, I said we worked with farmers, we went around. That's why it took us years developing this variety. So farmers were involved all through the process. Once we finish in the institute, we will go to farmer fields. And we go to farmer fields, we plant it on their fields. The farmer will manage it. We are not the ones who manage it. So it is based on the farmer's results by the time they did it. And then Lagos State, Ogun State, Osun State Agricultural Development Program, ADP. We also worked with all those ones, Kaduna ADP, each of these states ADPs. And they are the ones who do what we call adoption work, because the formality of it, you have to work with all these people, and they are farmers. And by the grace of God, the one speaking to you was in each and every one of these states, from Lagos, Ogun, Osun, Oyo. There were days, in order to save money, I wouldn't use a driver. I would drive from, we finish work in Ogun State, we move to Osun State, sleep over, drive early in the morning to ensure we're able to catch up the farmer early in the morning on the field. And down to Kano, Kaduna, Jigawa, Katsina, and we were able to develop these varieties. Now, having developed these varieties, it's now expected that it gets to the hand of the farmer. And so, those who have worked with us, it was their testimonies that made everyone say, okay, now they want this. And it's what you call a pure line. So, the cherry and Beske are the parents of Otitom 1. And it's tolerant to Fusarium wilt. And remember, when we were talking about understanding terminologies in tomato, I told you, early will you have what you call a resistant variety. What you will have, a tolerant variety. Meaning, even if this disease happens to be present, the impact on the yield of the variety is negligible. So we have Otitom 1, Otitom 2, and Otitom 3. You can, I want to say, you can go online and you can grab one of our newsletters. I think that was the 2023 newsletter. You will see details about Otitom 1, Otitom 2, and Otitom 3 right there. So that's how we're able to develop this variety. And that is why we have brought out Otitom 1 for us to use. Please don't say this is politics I'm about to say, but even when the Honorable Minister of Agriculture wanted to do some interventions, this was the variety that the seed was given out to farmers. And I tell you, we have not even met the demand on it. Currently, I have people in Ondo State worrying me for the seeds of this variety because it yields very, very well. So, I think that's that. Perhaps there is any. It's an early maturing variety. I must mention that also, and that's one of the reasons the farmers, especially enjoyed this variety. I remember of note the farmer who worked with us in Iwo in Osun State. Because it was early maturing, he was able to get to the market before others who planted some other seeds. And he sold, in fact, by the time we went to greet him after, the guy gave me a full bag of maize to say thank you. And I think I shared that maize. I just kept on sharing maize because kilo de very agbado pan. But it was very happy because of the returns that he had. So that's just an example of what I'm talking about. If well managed, this variety will give you a very, very good yield. On an average in Nigeria as of today, it's expected between 10 to 15 tons per hectare. That's the yield you can get. But with Auditum 1, I can assure you, if you manage it correctly, Auditum 1 will give you at least 50 to 55 tons per hectare. You can see the massive difference. So that's why it is Auditum 1 say that we are giving you out. So let me state categorically, it's an open secret. It's not a GMO plant or whatever. Please disabuse your mind. It's an improved variety on the local cherry and Beske that we crossed. We have Auditum 2 also, which we have Auditum 3 also. Auditum 3 is an improved, what you call the Onita, and if you look at the Auditum 3, you will see some of those traits on it. So that's how the seed came about. So if you have any question on the variety, please speak now. But forever don't hold your peace.
Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Let's start.
Hello. Good evening,
Good
sir. This is
evening.
Mamu speaking.
How do you do, sir?
Good evening, sir.
Great to hear you
I'm
again.
fantastic. How about you? I'm
Very great,
happy.
sir.
I traveled to what they call it, Jebu. So I'm just entering. I just say I should check, so I click join on time.
Ekunyo.
In fact, we are on a farmer's plot that they are planting on swamp. So we want to design the drainage system for them. 30 acres of
Oh,
land.
beautiful.
They are willing for us to give them what to do. They are willing to tell us what to do. So by God's grace, we will be
Beautiful.
there. Sir, please, can you kindly spell that Otitum?
HORTITOM.
HORTITOM.
M as in mango.
TOL.
M for
M for
mango.
Moshood. Okay.
Yeah, M for Moshood.
Okay.
Yes.
Otitum 1, 2, 3.
We have Auditum 1, we have Auditum 2, we have Auditum 3. There are different varieties.
I've been following your. Okay.
Yes. In fact, this year also we release Auditum 4 and 5. So we
Brilliant.
keep improving. We keep improving. Once we have other
Fantastic.
yes. So
Very
somebody else might come and they say in their area, it's not, the rains are affecting the growth. So there's a variety like that. Yes. So some tomato varieties are not rain lovers. So when you're doing rain-fed agriculture, you must not plant
Great.
that variety.
That's a good information.
your yield will be reduced. Mm. So those are things
Reduced.
it won't bring out. For
What about
example, auditorium
what
one in the
about the
dry
one that
season.
has
Auditorium one during the dry season,
okay?
the fruit size will be reduced for it to
Okay.
compensate for the high yield, for the high number of fruits per cluster. For those who don't know tomato,
What about if
what
on drip
tomato,
irrigation?
if on drip irrigation, then fine, it goes boom. It
And
goes
even
boom.
though trying to
Let me
do
also
screen
say this
shedding.
on irrigation. Let me please say this on irrigation. If you are doing irrigation, please do not use overhead sprinkler for tomato farming.
Oh, of course,
A
drip. That's great news.
drip irrigation system is better for tomato than the overhead sprinkler. What the overhead sprinkler does over time is that it disperses
Okay.
spores and it creates disease mechanism. It allows it to work freely. So let me just quickly say that if you are
Mm.
into big time tomato production, please do not use overhead sprinklers for tomato
What about
production.
what about the variety? What about the variety that loves that have a drought resistancy?
Right now, because we don't have that issue here, we don't really talk about drought resistant
Okay.
tomato variety in this part of the world because we've not really had any issue with drought.
Okay.
Yes, because it's not something that it's now due to climate change that it's coming up. But when you talk about heat
Mm.
resistance,
Mm.
some elements of heat resistance, heat tolerance exist in this Auditorium series also.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
You're
So,
welcome.
hello, sir.
They are
Hello, sir.
they are OPV. They are OPV.
Still talking.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Moshood, are you done? Mr. Francis wants to speak.
I said they are all OPV. Are they all
They are all
OPVs?
OPVs. They are all OPVs. They are all
Okay, sir.
OPVs.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
that's why it took us that long because
I'm done.
farmers, hybrids for farmers. A farmer once shouted at me, "Hybrids are expensive. Do you want to kill us? I bought a seed for 120,000." Okay, I'm sorry. It is well. So that's why all these series are OPVs. Good evening,
Okay,
Mr.
fantastic.
Francis.
This thing is just. Hello.
You have the floor, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Good evening, everybody. My question is on this Auditorium series,
Yes,
and I
sir.
believe that's the one that is going to be given to us as our
Yes,
starter pack,
Auditorium 1 is the
Auditorium
one that
one
is in
and
the
starter
pack.
pack.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So my question on it is, after the planting of that, after the
Mm-hmm.
harvesting rather,
Mm-hmm.
how will the yield be when the seed of that is replanted?
Same thing.
Same thing.
Same
Oh, that's
thing.
great. That's
Same
great.
thing.
That's what I
That's why it's
just
an
needed that
OPV.
clarification.
Yes, sir. That's why it's an OPV. OPV is open pollinated variety. That's the You have OPV. When we talked about understanding tomato terminologies, we mentioned it OPV hybrids. OPV is the opposite of hybrid. Once you plant an hybrid and you save the seed and you replant it, you will definitely not get the yield you got that time. There will be reduced yield. Don't let me get into that terminologies now. So, but for OPV, if you plant it with gaps are good agronomic practices. If you plant it and you maintain good agronomic practices, you're sure to get your good yield and you're sure to get that maintained yield.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir. Sadiza.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry, I'm lost. You are saying
Let's
that
thank you.
and if you practice agronomic practice well, that you
Yes.
can be able to get how many ton? Did you say 50 ton
50 tons per hectare.
per hectare?
Per hectare,
Wow,
yes. Yes.
wow, that is very nice. Which mean a plant there's possibility of having 2 kg and above
Yes.
variety.
I'm telling you, normally you're not supposed to collect as a federal government worker or as a government worker, you're not supposed to get anything back from anyone. But when we went to this farmer, this man kept on harvesting and harvesting and harvesting and harvesting, and he had another maize field. And you know, um, please, I don't mean anything here, but the man has two wives. One of his wives has an Ewedu field. So the other one has a amaranth field. So he told the one with the Ewedu, go and pack, because he kept on harvesting and he maintained the field. One thing with this auditorium series is don't allow weed. It hates weed. Don't allow weed compete with it. So when a farmer is giving you a bag of maize free of charge, you can imagine how much he has made.
That is true. That is true.
You can imagine how much he has made. So I mean, I chop maize, so the maize be so that's just it. Just maintain your good agronomic practices, and we'll still talk about, like I said last week, field management of tomato, and then we will do the economics of tomato production. Um, of course, we won't do the economics one tonight because of time, but we want to ensure, are we ready? The few things I have are just on, we talked about weeding, irrigation. I just have to talk on pruning, staking, harvesting, and then processing. Those are the few sub leads that I want to talk about. But before I go there, I want to ensure that we are all ready to receive our starter pack. Like we said, the starter pack will contain the Otitom 1 tomato seeds, it will contain the biofertilizer, and it will contain the biopesticide. Starting Monday, um, the starter pack will begin to go out. Please, we want to ensure that we are ready for this. I appreciate everyone last week as we were bringing in all our activities, the buckets, those who have the pit, and getting the compost ready. Um, Whether it's in a nursery tray you want to plant yours, or you have a small portion of land. And for those who don't even have anywhere in your immediate environment to plant, we have said you can look for someone around, and you can have a talk with that person, because we want everyone to move as we move. When you go for a community exercise and there's someone in front saying, do as I do like this, I do like this, you raise your leg, I raise my leg. So we want everyone. Um, as we said, some of us have been in this and it's nothing new to us. Some of us have sketchy ideas. Some of us have no idea. Some of us have beginner level idea. So when we go high and we are speaking above you, please speak out. When we go low, just bear with us. All we are trying to do is to ensure everybody is carried along in doing this, and we can break the back of lack, food scarcity, food insecurity, not just in our homes, but in our community, in our local governments, in our states, in Nigeria, in Africa as a whole, and even make some money and make some money from it. So, do we have our nursery pots ready? Have we sectioned out a place for us to plant? I'd like to know that. Or do we have someone who is saying, even if I receive my starter pack, I don't have anywhere to pack? Awesome. Thank you, Prince Joseph. Thank you so much, sir. So we want to know, are we ready? Are we good to go? Are we good to go, everybody? There's more time to waste.
I'm nearly ready.
Awesome.
I've got pots already. I've got the containers to do the seedlings in.
Splendid.
And I prepared a bit I'm trying to increase the space to have a 3x3 space in my garden
Awesome.
To put ridges, and we're planning to do it this weekend. I plan to go and get some wood carvings from the wood market tomorrow.
Awesome. This is
and
great.
Some cow dung. But I have already a compost area that has been receiving most of my waste in the last year. So I think I have some compost already.
Splendid. This is really, really good. So we assure you, Dio Volente, one of the reasons why, like we said, was to start this weekend is because of the elections that would be taking place tomorrow in select locations, and we don't want any hindrance or any stories that touch. So, starting Monday, we will all start receiving our packs. So,
sorry, just to say a bit quick in case I don't remember at the end of this meeting. Please, would like everyone to check your dashboard to make sure your data is your address, your LGA is correctly stated, please, so that we are able to get to you. Thank you.
Okay, good. So please check your dashboard and ensure you have a good address there, that it's traceable. Sam Moshid, you were saying something.
Yes, I've gotten my cocoa pits and my trays are ready. And in fact, I've even made my ridges, and we have some drip. I have 1 acre of land that we can even use. So we are ready. We are ready. We are ready. Anybody that is closer to me, I'm in Italy region of Ogun State. Anybody that is closer to me, we can collaborate and work together.
Good.
There's space.
Awesome. So this is what this community is all about. This is what this community is all about. We network, do better. This was what happened in the banking industry pre-2002, 2003. That's why you have what they call new generation banks. You know, before it was strictly the old timers, the First Banks, the Union Banks, and co. And then the space was opened. And what was the capitalization there? I think it was just was it 5 million or 50 million? And people just connected together and boom. So, and at the end of the day, those who recapitalization will take them off. So let's network and work together, and we can. I tell you, is the beginning of great things. Remember, we have said after tomato, there are other crops we're going to continue with. So it's the beginning of great things and of good success for each and every one.
Okay, so just quickly too, I'd like to get some feedback about our composting, because that is the foundation of our success. Do we have practically everyone? Have we all started our compost? We have feedback from a few people about your experience in that regard. Is there anyone or a few that would like to talk about it and encourage us?
Yes. Hello. I have started the composting process.
Very
Can
good.
you hear me?
I have
Yes, we
started
can.
the compost system too.
Oh,
Okay.
very
And I
good.
also was at the big market today. I packed plenty, about 5 bags of the different things again today.
Oh, very good. Very good. Is there anyone that has not started? And if you haven't, what could your challenges be? So we can encourage you.
I have not started. We're writing exams, so by next week I'll start.
Okay, yeah. We encourage you to do that because it will take at least 3 to 5 weeks. And it's important that your compost is ready in time for transplanting. Mr. Olomide is going to talk about the nursery mix, so at least we can get that going there, because you will need less volume of soil for that. So we can do with some we can make do to get the nursery started. But for the person itself, you would need fertile soil, and the easiest way to get it is to build your own soil by yourself. That way, you're even sure what's in there. So it's very, very important. Hopefully, like you said within the next 1 week, you'll be able to start, madam. It's very, very
Yes,
important.
by Monday
Oh,
I'll start.
okay. Is there any other kind of challenge? Is somebody experiencing anything that you'd like to talk about? Or do we assume that, well, at least 80% of us have already started composting?
Hello, good evening. I'm
Good
sorry, I
evening.
haven't started either because I haven't been well. I have missed a lot of lectures actually. I'm
So
planning to
sorry.
sit down and listen to the past yes, so that I can know what to do. That has been my challenge, but I intend to get up
Oh,
to speed as soon as possible. Thank you.
oh, very good. Thank God you're with us today. I mean, that means you're so much better. Right?
Yes,
We
I'm glad
look
to be
forward
here. Thank you. Thank you.
to. All right. Thank you. Okay. So, anybody else? Okay. Let's assume that
Hello, ma.
most of us. Yes. Okay. Please.
Hello, ma.
Please. Man.
Yes. I've had some of my material, especially fruit wastes. Well, I'll be seeing tomorrow because I travel, so I just came back tonight. So tomorrow morning, I'll be taking some of these materials and I'll start.
Oh, very good.
I'll send
Very
some
good.
videos once I start.
Oh, excellent. That's something that I've been looking forward to have us, post our videos and step by step so we can encourage and help others too. Thank you for that. Thank you, sir. Hmm. Okay. All right, over to you, Mr.
Yes, ma'am.
Alumini.
Okay. Wow, different throat. Mama, please wish you well. Take it, JJ, please. Let's let's all also, in the midst of all this, find some good time to rest. Let's also rest and uh, I don't know. I always have one fix it all drug for everything. I always tell you just take pepper soup, and whatever it is, God will grant everyone sound health.
Amen.
It's not always easy, and that's why I said we're all here to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Um, and organic farming, it's anything can happen that may make one's health. Anything can happen, and that's why we are saying in organic farming we just want to prevent any form of prevent all preventables. So let's just do like that. Now, for our nurseries, if you have just topsoil, you can use. But if you remember when we were taking on nursery production, we said ensure you don't use a soil that is just clay. Please, if the soil around you is just clay, do not use it. Best stick to. I think I saw someone mention. Can we use potting soil for the nursery? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And ensure that it's a well-drained soil. So for the nursery mix, I use equal parts. The starter pack contains 100 seeds thereabout, so you don't need that large area you're using, but raise it up. While the rains are going, also we have the NIMET report still says we're still expecting some heavy rainfall to still come. So if you have some compost available, you can mix them with your topsoil. If you have manure, you can mix it with your topsoil. I use equal parts. To just mix it. And if you have a nursery tray, whether you're using cocoa peat, rice husk, prepare it, and you're good to go. There's no, how do I put it? There's no need for any technical jargon over this. And all we have said during your nursery, do not make your soil waterlogged. Water sparingly, but do not also allow your soil to kick. It will kill the seed. Resta, do you want to add anything?
No, not at all. Although you had said that for those that would have no choice but to use only topsoil, the biofertilizer would be available to
No
them
fertilizer will
to
be available for them to use. Yeah.
the plants.
Yes. Now, if you are concerned about soil-borne diseases, if you're using just topsoil, you can go ahead and sterilize it. I believe we also remember how to sterilize our topsoil. So you can go ahead and sterilize it. So I think that's
Okay,
that.
so also remind you about what you said on about including neem for those that have neem leaves and
Yeah.
what's the other one?
No, so if you have dongoyaro around you or moringa leaves, these are easy materials that can serve as a biopesticide. For me, I take it sparingly. So what I have one I have one outside now in pots. So I can go out. So all I did was I boiled moringa leaves with neem leaves. After boiling, allow it to boil. After it is boiled, allowed it to cool, and then I strained out the water. So I use the water. The water serves as a biofertilizer and a biopesticide. So what it does is it serves as both a pesticide and nutrient mix for if you have in pot. And then you can use the leaves after you dry it. You can use the leaves to serve as mulch for it once you're done. Doesn't have to be that much.
Can you give an idea of the quantity? Say for a 5 liter or a 10 liter pot, how much neem, how much moringa, or just any bunch, no particular dilution?
I hope his network has not been interrupted. Yeah, I'm sure we'll be back. When he comes back, I'd also like him to say something about substituting powdered neem and moringa for neem cake. Because adding neem cake or working neem cake into the soil as your basal application or into your pot or container or even into your nursery mix is an excellent way to keep pathogens under lock and key, so to speak. And but since um, the availability of neem cake is not always assured, at least something that one can do, because that's the cool thing about organic farming. The emphasis is on getting all that you need in your local environment, because by nature we are supposed to have all that we need in our local environment anyway when we practice organic farming truly. So to substitute for neem cake, one can actually get dogoyaro leaves mixed with moringa leaves, dry them, and then blend them into powder and just mix it a bit. We're talking about the measurement of that mix. I'm sure when Mr. Olomide comes back, he'll be able to give us an idea. And then apart from working it into the soil, to keep the soil free from soil pathogens and nematodes and all that stuff. Another thing that he said he does as a practice is that every other day, he boils just like an agbo, about potion. He boils moringa and neem, and just he was saying that just before he went off. Then when it cools, he uses it in place of water every other day. Of course, the tomato masterclass will still continue tomorrow. Fridays and Saturdays are actually set aside for the masterclasses, apart from many other days during the week where one or the other might come up. Okay, I already said a few things about the composting, and I've had some good feedback, but I can't overemphasize it. The foundation for success is compost for so many reasons. Apart from nutrition, it helps with having access to well-drained soil, and of course, number one, microbes. Microbes proliferate in compost, and we know that it is actually the microbes that feed your plants. It's not the availability of nutrients, organic matter in your soil. It's about the microbes. And microbes proliferate. You have a lot of microbes when you have compost. And then for the compost, like I also said, it takes anything from 3 weeks to 5 weeks or even more, depending on so many different factors. if you have all the conditions ideal to speed up your course, it could be anything between 3 and 4 weeks. So that means that by next week, anyone who actually is planning for a successful outcome should have started their company. Yes.
We're going to get 100 seeds.
Yes.
If one cannot plant all the 100 seed, can we store the remaining for planting at another time in a refrigerator? Or how do we store it? Let me not preempt the answer.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can, but it must be a place where the temperature won't be fluctuating. One of the things that ends the viability of seeds is fluctuating temperature. So you're going to put it in a refrigerator. First, in the pack in which it is, you can put it in a container like a cup and then put it in there. That way you have a sort of microenvironment that the temperature is constant over a period. I hope you get that, sir.
And also, we're hoping that people will be able to work in groups, even starting from this first tomato acquisition. So for those that don't have enough space, that's why that's part of that's part of what form the communication and the task of the seedling growers and their task. So that those that are in areas where they can form a group, they can actually something in group form or have a community garden. But all of that will come up as we go along. Okay, so if there are no other questions, we can adjourn.
Yes.
When we asked before Uncle Olomide went off the platform, the moringa and neem leaf that he was saying we can.
Yes, now that you asked, yes.
How many liters of water and what quantity of leaves do we get?
No, it depends on the quantity you have. It depends on the quantity you have. So it's just like you're preparing they have the moringa neem drink. So it depends on the quantity of what you have. So you can even prepare like a 20 liter. How do I estimate the number of leaves now? I don't have an estimate. Don't let me give you I don't have an estimate figure now, but all I did was just to get about 1 kg of leaves for about 100 pots. 1 kg of moringa leaves. It wasn't even up to one of both moringa leaves and dongoyaro leaves, and then boil it. You can even still keep it. You can keep it something you can use over a period of 1 week. Then you can discard the rest and do it again. That's if you readily have moringa and neem in your immediate environment. All we are saying about organic production is use the materials you have in your immediate environment. Those who have akintola is something that you can now just cut down, allow it to dry. Is a very good manure material if you incorporate it into your soil mix also. So that's what I was saying. So it depends on what it's just something to assist in protecting your plant and nourishing your plant. And one thing I noticed I've not seen any of those biting insects or grasshoppers. They didn't even come near where those pots were placed. They didn't come near them since I started applying the moringa and neem leaf extract.
Sorry, sir. Can I ask a question? When one makes the neem and moringa tea, can it be refrigerated if we don't have it readily available?
Of course.
Okay.
Yes.
Then, sir, the akitola leaf, can we dry and make into powder to mix with our soil?
Very, very well.
All right, sir.
Simon, you wanted to say something too?
Yes, please. Is this on drying
or how?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sun drying. I wanted to step outside and take a picture of the dried leaves. It was just 2 days ago. I put the leaves out and they're already crispy now. So I can even just from the crisp leaves, I can just use my hand to crush them and they can go as I can ground them as much as I want. Sun drying.
Okay, sir. Can we say at a ratio of 1 to 1 for the neem
Yes,
and
it's 1 to 1. It's one to
and
one. Yes.
neem
Yes,
and
it's 1 to 1.
what about adding lemongrass?
Lemongrass has been is said to also have. I didn't add it to it, but it lemongrass also has anti-insecticidal properties also.
So can we spray it on plants instead of drenching?
Yeah, like I said, I use this as so what I do with this is I will use the neem moringa extract, drink or tea, whichever one you choose to call it. So I think tea is best because I took it as tea. I mean, you take it every first thing in the morning and your body feels refreshed. So if I use it to water today, tomorrow I will use water, just normal water to water the plant. Then 2 days after I water with the neem moringa tea. Then I water with water again, and then that's how I go. So I water the one I leave, I water with normal water, I leave again, and that's how I alternate it.
You talked about 1 kg. Is it to 20 liters of water or to 5 liters of water?
Just boil those leaves, just fill it. Okay, yes, the 20-liter keg. The 20-liter keg.
Okay, to 1 liter, to 1 kg of the leaves.
Yes.
So for how long do we boil, sir?
That's why I said let it boil.
Okay.
Just let it boil.
All right.
Sir, can we ferment in place of boiling?
I've not tried that. Like I said, I take it. I mean, I drink it normally as tea, and then of course, this is something we use in formulating biopesticides. So while I've taken it for my own body, let the plants also enjoy part of it. So that's just what I did, and it's working. So, but I believe it's possible also.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes,
Yes,
sir. I don't know.
I've tried neem leaf. I've tried soaking in water. But
Okay.
what I observe is that once it's more than once it's more than 2 to 3 days, it starts decaying, decomposing. So the other will not be friendly again. So once if you want to use it and you want to use extraction method, cold extraction method, by soaking, don't make it more than 48 hours. It will use some shiny substance coming out of it. And I know it's part of the important elements inside the leaves. So but after 3-4 days, it start turning black.
That's why.
That's what I observe. I've used it for my.
That's why I prefer to boil it. That way you can use it for 1 week, then you can discard it if it remains, and then do another fresh set. Because of that decomposition you get to see after like 2 days, if you just soak it in water overnight. So if you use the cold water method, you will have to sieve it. You have to use a muslin cloth, teru, or the one that is used in doing pap. So if you use the cold water to extract it, that would still have to go through some to avoid the sedimentation and all that. So that's why I just prefer Just boil it. That takes care of so many things and brings out the nutrients out, and you can use your stuff once it's cold. Thank you, everyone. We meet again tomorrow, 8 o'clock.
Mr. Olomide, please,
yes, ma'am.
Madam Esther was trying to get a confirmation from you when you went off briefly that in the event that you have dried moringa leaf and dried neem leaf, how can you use the two together?
Yes, I said you can. I said the same.
Powder, moringa powder and neem powder.
The same moringa and neem leaf that was used for the tea, you sun dry it. Okay. So what I wanted to do when it went off was I wanted to show you those dry leaves. By the time you sun dry it, it will become crispy. Now you can just use it, but dry leaves. By the time you use your hand to rub it and thresh it, it will become powder form. That powder form, you can mix it with your compost. You can use it you can decide not to mesh it. Leave those dry leaves like that. You can use it as a mulch on your plant soil surface. You can use it as powder to prepare also another set of biopesticide.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
So for those that are available, I believe that will be a good practice for the nursery soil mix. To prevent any issue with nematodes or any pathogen.
I remember you also had said we could add pepper and garlic to the neem tea.
Exactly.
Spray on leaves when they were, if they had some infestation.
Yes. Thank you all for bringing out all this. All these things are the practices that are useful and workable. Just like in a regular class, by the time we bring that's why we're a community. By the time we bring them out, we must have mentioned them earlier, and so all these things. So for our nursery mix, these are things we can prepare down that will boost, one, the nutrients, two, the soil health that will be used in our nursery and in our tomato production. So I say thank you.
Organic is to prevent anything from.
It's preventive. You want to prevent as much as possible, and for fungal diseases, root spores are in the soil. Soil sterilization is one of the first ways to bring down the load. So once you can sterilize your soil first, all these practices that we've spoken of, you can use them. By the time you get your starter pack also, you can make use of all of them. But remember, a whole lot has been said in previous classes. Some works are being done to have, so that you can have a summary of each of the class. By the time you go through your dashboard, some of these things will be put up, and we just want to make it as easy as possible. I want us all to know it is work, but it works. So God willing, we meet tomorrow by God's grace by 8 o'clock. I wish us all a sound rest as we all end tonight's class. Say tomato. Say good night, sir. Good night, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Have a nice night rest.